Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to be doing an initial review and first look of this MaxxMMA Advanced Cobra Reflex Bag 2.0. So stay tuned. Alright guys, so today I'm going to assemble the MaxxMMA Cobra bag and try it out for the first time. But before we do that, just to show you what's inside the box that it comes with. First you get this MaxxMMA box that has a little plastic handle on there. All of the parts come in there. The box itself is actually not too big. It's almost like a little briefcase that it comes in, this little cardboard box. It comes with the instruction manual that shows you how to assemble it, how to fill up the base. It does come with a plastic, water, or sand-filled base. I'll fill mine up with water. And just the different components. It comes with a pump for the bags that you hit, a couple of Allen wrenches, obviously the poles that it comes with, accessories, as well as a pair of these MaxxMMA style gloves, which I won't be using. But again, for those of you that are maybe entry level, starting off in combat sports or boxing, then maybe you guys will use those. And then it comes with two different size bags. So it has a smaller one and a larger one with these yellow targets on here. They're both a synthetic material and they screw in. And then you also have the cover for the base that you put over this plastic base right here. So that's everything that's included. I'm gonna go ahead and start assembling this. You guys can follow along and then we'll start to use it. So here's the bag completely assembled. I'll start from the top to the bottom to show you guys how this thing is laid out. So first I'm gonna use the smaller inflated ball up top right here. You can see that the material is a synthetic leather type material, real similar to like the Everlast Hyper Flex bag that they have. Has an inflation port at the top. It says at MaxxMMA printed on the side. You also have the plastic tapered cup at the bottom that holds the bag. It screws into right here using a machine screw, and then it also has an additional Allen set screw that locks the threads in so that the bag can't reverse itself out over time. Underneath that is going to be another red sleeve right here that covers the pole. Right here it also has a compression push button that allows this pole to slide into place. And then down here is where the actual spring is located, covered again with another black foam sleeve. Dropping down below, this pole mounts into a female side right here. It does have a male and a female machine screw with an Allen head. Obviously all the tools come with this. That mounts into there. All the way to the bottom where you have a height adjustment knob right here that basically just screws in. And then what I figured earlier was that this bag, this MaxxMMA bag, you're supposed to actually fill this with sand. So you need additional weight on top of this water or sand-filled plastic base. That's not enough. That's about 35 to 40 pounds right there. That's definitely not enough to hold this thing down from, wiggling all over the place. So You definitely need to use the MaxxMMA canvas bag that it comes with this handle, which is really nice because you can fill it up and then hold these handles to move it around. So it's better on your back. But what I ended up doing, because I don't feel like filling this up with sand, I just laid my 45-pound Olympic plate. The hole on the inside of the plate is actually big enough to go around this. You just unscrew this and take this piece out so it can go over the pole. But either way, I mean, if you have weight plates at home, you can use that. You can fill it up with sand. It's completely up to you on which way you want to go. But I put that on top. So essentially I have about 75 to 80 pounds of weight in here, water and this top weight included, which holds it down pretty well. I mean, you can do a little bit more if you really want to make sure it's mounted down, but I have about, again, 80 pounds of weight on here. So let's go ahead and hit this thing and see how it performs. Hey, what's up guys, Carlo here, and today I'm going to do an initial review and first look of this MaxxMMA Advanced Cobra Reflex Bag 2.0. Now this bag has been around for several years now. It's been around for a while actually, and I just never had a chance to try it out. I've tried a lot of other Cobra bags, the Ringside, the Amazon one. I've made my own with the Keyless spring, but I never got a chance to try this one. So here we are today to see how this thing performs and to kind of determine whether or not this would be a good investment for those of you that are looking to purchase a Cobra bag. Now, before I get into actually hitting this thing, I'll kind of give you guys the basics. Obviously, earlier I showed you just a sped up version of the assembly, give you a little bit of close up of the components. One cool thing about this bag, aside from the ease of install, I love the fact that everything fits nicely together. It doesn't feel cheap by any means. They use high quality machine screws. The steel spring is really nice. The fact that they use a set screw to hold the threaded portion in place for this bag so it doesn't come undone is really good. They give you an extra canvas bag that you can use to fill with sand to give yourself some extra weight if you don't have anything laying around the house. So I definitely like that. Also the way that it comes in that cardboard box where it has a little handle. Everything is nice and compact. You don't get this gigantic, huge box in the mail. So that's a really nice added touch. The other cool thing is that it comes with a pair of these MaxxMMA gloves. I'm not going to use them just because I have a ton of gloves already. But it does come with these MMA gloves right here. That's included with it. And probably one of the coolest things is the fact that it comes with two bags. So you get the choice of using the smaller inflatable bag or the larger inflatable bag that has these little raised yellow targets on here. This one is supposed to move quicker than the larger, and we'll see the difference here when I start to hit it. I'm going to switch them out. But they're made of the same material. They're just larger in diameter. Same kind of threaded bottom to screw it in. Another cool feature that they do, which I'm not sure if I'm a fan of or not, is they include this hardened plastic rod. It's called the MaxxMMA X-Flex. And basically what this does is it actually drops down into the spring right here. So when you hit it, it actually stiffens up the rebound rate, which is supposedly supposed to make it quicker if you hit it harder. But we'll go through all of that just to show you guys. So that's pretty much the setup of this. I'm gonna go ahead and put my gloves on, get to hitting it. I'm then gonna switch out the bag to the larger one. That way you guys can see how that one performs as well. So check it out. It's definitely not as fast as the Keyless spring or even the Amazon slow time one that you guys can find on AliExpress or Alibaba. That one's definitely faster than this one. I feel that it has a little bit of vibration on it, so I'm probably going to have to add maybe 35 more pounds to make it really nice and solid to the floor. I mean, it has, I'd say, just as good as rebound, maybe a little bit better than the Ringside. It has a little bit more of a free, I guess more of a free feel to it when it comes back. I'm gonna go and put that little rod inside to see if that changes the speed of this. I'd say it's right in the middle. It's not the fastest and it's not the slowest by any means. I'd say it's a pretty good beginner bag though. And the fact that you get an option between this smaller bag and the larger one to use is kind of a nice feature. So let's go ahead and slip the larger bag on and see what kind of difference that makes as far as me hitting this thing. So I'm going to slide this one off, and I'll show you guys how easy it is to switch them out. It just comes with this Allen screw that you have, and all you have to do is undo the set screw inside here. And I mean, I guess you can essentially leave the set screw out and not have to worry about it. I mean, that's just really if you want to lock it into place so it doesn't unthread itself. So I just took that set screw out, and then from there it's just simply unscrewing it. Take this out. Take a little while. Screw it. All right. I'm going to screw the larger one in. See how this thing feels compared to the smaller one. Tighten it down real good. Okay. Let's test this thing out. See how it rebounds. Yeah, so it's definitely, I mean, just for me hitting it right now, it definitely has a much slower arcing rebound to it. And you can hear the vibration from it. So it's definitely slower. I would say this is definitely more for the beginners that need a little bit of a larger target and to get them started on working on their timing, you know, throwing a punch when your target's coming in. So this one is definitely slower, bigger target. It feels a little bit heavier when you hit it compared to the small one. Obviously you have more mass that you're dealing with, but you can't throw your punches together like your combinations as fast as you want to. So if you're more advanced with this Cobra bag, then you'll probably not want to use this larger inflatable bag because it's just too slow in my opinion. Not bad for those that are beginners though. But if you're going to do that, you might as well start them with the smaller one. So you can see it has quite a bit of vibration when you hit it with some power shots. Anything strong, it ends up kind of vibrating. And the spring does a pretty decent job. So there you have it. I'm going to now replace the inside with that rod I showed you guys earlier. So this rod is supposed to stiffen it up. And you basically slide that out, and this rod basically just kind of slides down into place. And then from there, this just drops back down. If I can get it right here. So you wait for that button to click, and that's it. So this is basically supposed to stiffen it up. So we'll see. Yeah. So basically, it doesn't allow it to arc as much as earlier, so it rebounds quicker. The drawback I feel now is that you're kind of sacrificing the defensive part of the bag hitting you in the face. So that arcing motion, even though it's quicker now, it doesn't go as far. So because of that, you don't really get to move your head because the bag is not moving far enough for you to do that because it's so stiff down here. I mean, you can still obviously work on your slipping, your bobbing, and your weaving. But again, I feel like you kind of sacrifice the arcing of this bag to make it quicker. So definitely faster, which I like. And lastly, let's go ahead and unscrew this large one and put the small one back on with that rod in the pole down below. And this is basically supposed to be what they advertise as the fastest setting, with that rod inside here and the small bag on top. So we'll see how quick it is and if it's the preferred setting for people that are a little bit more experienced in hitting this thing. take that off. Let's go ahead and throw this guy back on. Screw this back on. All right, so that's on there, and let's go ahead and start hitting this guy and see how it performs now. One thing I noticed is starting to scoot around, so the stiffness of that rod is basically forces you to put more weight at the bottom, which I'm going to end up doing, and you can actually see the thing starts to scoot a little bit. You can see that that hard plastic rod basically just doesn't allow it to arc very much. You know, you have to hit it with some good power. You can work on the speed, that's a good thing. So I feel that's the best setting for this Cobra bag with that rod on the inside. The only thing is, in addition to the base that you get, which is that water sand filled base, my recommendation is you're probably going to need another 75 pounds of weight. So do keep that in mind. You're going to have to fill that bag up if you don't have weights laying around at home, or get yourself some Olympic plates like I have and put it on top to really anchor this thing down. I say that this Cobra bag, at least from right now, from what I can tell, is kind of in the middle of the road. It's not as fast as like the Q-less, the one that I built myself with the Q-less spring. That's definitely faster than this one. I feel that it's smoother than the ringside. The arc, to me, is better than the ringside one, and the fact that it has two bags and you get that little rod to make it a little bit quicker gives you a little bit more of a modular feel to it. So I like it more than the ringside. I do like it a little bit more than the Tidal, but not as much as the Amazon one so far. I feel like the Amazon one is pretty similar in the fact that they both use an inflatable bag up top, but I feel like the spring on the Amazon one is definitely quicker. You get that arc that goes on with it, and it's just a much quicker moving bag. And then as far as compared to the Fierce Reflex, I haven't tried that one yet, so for those of you that are going to ask about the Fierce, it's probably not as good as that one. I've never tried the Fierce personally, but from videos I've seen, that one moves really nicely. So I'd say it's middle of the road. You know, retail price, depending on where you get it from, whether it's through MaxxMMA, I think Walmart sells it on their website, Amazon, it's usually anywhere between $275 to $289. Which is a decent price. I think you could do better, to be honest with you. So far, I'm going to continue to use this and I'm going to review it again as far as seeing how this thing holds up. But I definitely think you could do better than this bag at this point. I think maybe a couple of years ago when it first released, it was kind of on the higher end of the better reflex bags, but that was before all these other bags started coming out, like the Fierce Reflex, and then you can get that one from Amazon or AliExpress or Alibaba, and then now you can make your own using, you know, the Q-less spring. So I think the fact that there's more options now than before kind of knocked this one down the list in terms of like preferred Cobra bags. It's not a bad bag. I just feel that it's kind of middle of the road as far as the performance goes. So it does have redeeming qualities with the quality of the parts. And the kind of the fit and the finish, which I really like. It doesn't feel like it's hard to put together, but at this point I feel it's kind of middle of the road. So if you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you guys leave them down below in the comments box. I'll put the link in the description box where you can find this MaxxMMA Advanced Cobra Reflex bag. I'll see you guys later. Peace.